Welcome to another exciting episode of Brand Talkies, a Kada PT show, where we believe in uncovering the stories behind the brands you absolutely love. I'm your host, Tamanna Chanana, and we have a wonderful first for season 2 today. Our first lady guest. I'm thrilled to introduce Tanvi Bangia, who's a dynamic marketing professional with over 9 years of experience in marketing advertising across various industries, platforms, and products. Tanvi has honed her skills through roles at established organizations such as Google India, LinkedIn India, Dine Out, CNN International, and NDTV. Currently serving as an account manager for multi-channel retail and CPG at Google India, Tanvi manages a substantial portfolio of CPG brands, driving businesses' growth and nurturing long-term relationships. Her diverse background and hands-on experience in business development, content management, campaign planning, client servicing, and market research makes her a valuable asset in shaping brand strategies and delivering impactful marketing solutions. Today, we will chat about navigating digital marketing trends in 2024 with none other than our Google expert. Let's dive right in and welcome Tanvi to the show. It's truly a pleasure to have you with us today.
Hi, Tamanna. It's indeed a pleasure to be on your podcast. I'm looking forward to having an amazing chat with you about all things marketing and beyond. Thank you for having me.
Likewise, from being a friend from HT time to having this conversation, it's indeed a pleasure. All right, Tanvi, to kick off our conversation today, let's start by getting to know you a little bit better. How did you land your dream role at
Oh,
Google?
well, it's an interesting story. I started applying at Google from, I think, 2016 onwards. And I knew that this brand is an epitome for all marketers, right? And
Yeah.
it's essential that I at least attempt to apply and crack a role at Google.
Mhm.
And I won't boast, but after about 6 unsuccessful attempts across multiple team roles, I landed up with my current role at Google. And
Mhm.
as they say, lucky number seven, right? I made it in the seventh attempt. So yeah, that's how I landed up, at Google. And I cracked this role over a period of 4 months, with the
Mhm.
final interview being conducted over a cup of Starbucks in UK. So I was visiting my sister, and my final round was scheduled. So in Scotland, right? So I was with her, and I was at the Starbucks giving my final round. So this was my epic entry into Google, and then I'll always, remember how I made it at this iconic place as a part of my professional journey.
Awesome. I think that's an interesting story to begin with. All right. For today's conversation, what was your aha moment in your career when everything clicked and you realized you were up to something really big?
An aha moment, actually, how I define is probably an inner realization.
Mhm.
This for me was when I took a short career break, a leap of faith between two jobs, two roles in the year 2018.
Okay.
I quit from one role, and I was, definitely certain that micromanagement is something I'm not okay with.
Okay.
There were certain tasks that did not resonate well with my morals and ethics, while I was at that role,
Yeah.
and I decided to quit, from this role and there was no follow-up role in hand.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no idea what I was going to do in the next couple of months.
Yes.
And I quit without a job in hand. And next 3 months, were very excruciating.
Mm.
I gave almost about 40 plus interviews.
Yeah.
I finally found the perfect opportunity that matched my interests and got my creative juices running.
Yeah.
Making this new role that I was supposed to take pretty kick-ass. So
Mm.
this period, I think, was an aha moment where I realized, so many things, so many strengths and weaknesses within me, and how it's essential to take that leap of faith and literally follow your heart and go with the flow. Sometimes you don't have a plan in hand. So
Yeah.
flowing like water in your professional journey can sometimes really help you unravel some amazing skills
Yeah.
and experiences that you can use to redefine you as a person and as a professional. So this was
I,
that period.
yeah. Amazing. I think there's a lot to learn. Every person in this world thinks that Google, it's a privileged job to be in. But there comes a lot of baggage when you actually put that kind of effort to be where you are today. So it's amazing to know your journey. To begin, we usually have a buzzer round where we ask you to either give one word or one sentence answers. One word is quite rare. We never get that. So let's stick to one sentence there. Ever had a Google search so strange that even the algorithm was like, wait
Well,
for
I
it.
recently became a mom, right? That's my latest life update. So, on top of mine, the most weird search query I can think of is someone asking Google, "Hey, am I pregnant?" Because also interestingly, if you look up Google for the most weird searches in 20, which was the year of the pandemic, the most weird search queries came in that year.
Yeah.
And what I was reading was that the most weird queries that Indians have searched for in this period is, why did I get married? So another funny one that I saw was, why did I get married or am I pregnant? Being the weird,
Yeah.
search queries that I could think of.
Gosh, Indians being Indians, they can do all these humorous things. Coming to the next question, in the battle of wits between Google Assistant and Siri, who do you think would come out to be on the top?
So now, as a matter of fact, Google Assistant can understand every question and answer up to
Yeah.
93% of accuracy, right? Now, when I compare that to Siri, Siri lags behind and it's only able to answer about 83 or 84% of the questions correctly. So if you really want to find out who wins, you can check out the Siri versus Google Assistant roast battle that is on YouTube. I would love to share the link with you, but I think Google Assistant is way more smarter for sure.
Is it because you are working there?
No comments there, but I'll definitely send out that roast link to you for sure.
Oh, definitely, I'll add that to the show notes. Okay, we have all Googled ourselves at least once, right? What's the funniest, weirdest, or most surprising thing you have discovered about yourself in depth of these searches?
I think the most surprising search result that I came across when I searched for my name on Google was the list of appointed leaders in my school in the year 2009. I could actually look at the entire list of school appointments and recall the exact batch details of who the head girl was, who the head boy was, who was the cultural secretary, the sports secretary. And in the midst of everything, you forget your
Hmm.
school days. So
Yeah.
this was a very beautiful and nostalgic tab that I opened, when I searched for my name, and I was pleasantly surprised looking at that list.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that was something exciting.
Yeah. That's how you love yourself when you go back to those old school days and you're like, is this me?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the last question. If you could create a Google Doodle to celebrate your life, what would it look like?
Well, you can look at Tanvi holding a lotus flower in a pond full of mud
Okay.
because that represents the spirit of being positive in any negative situation and being hopeful because
Yeah.
that's what I aim to achieve in my life.
Yeah.
I really want to be hopeful in any situation I'm put into.
Yeah.
And on a lighter note, it could be a girl surrounded by dogs, books,
Yeah.
coffee, kids, and her people. So that's me.
Okay, before we dive into our topic today, let's start with a question on everyone's mind. What's life really is in Google? Uh, People always share their experiences at life at Google. Is it definitely fun, engaging, or how is it for you?
Well, I think everybody sees the fun side of Google, right?
Yeah,
And life at Google is definitely fun and a lot more work than what it seems like.
yeah,
It's truly built for everyone, right? Like they say, Google is built for everyone. A
yeah.
typical workday for me starts with a strong cup of coffee, a
Mhm.
lot of team calls and client calls, and also tea breaks with my colleagues, right? Because that's a must.
Yeah,
Um, on hectic days, we can try and make time for some fun activities like we go play TT or we sing in the music room.
yeah.
There are also sleeping pods and rooms that can be pre-booked, in case you want to take some time off.
Mhm.
And when you complete your work anniversaries in Google, we call it the Google bursary. You
Yeah,
also get like massage vouchers that can be redeemed by booking the in-house masseuse. So it's all really nice, right? And we aim to wrap up our days by 4:30 max. Because
mm,
life at Google, you need to create that balance, right? It's not as easy as it looks. So
yeah,
to summarize, work and play at the same time is how life at Google looks like.
yeah. Awesome. I think it's more fun. People usually see the perks of being at Google rather than all of this, but
Yeah.
definitely I agree that every role, every MNC requires you to put that kind of due diligence. I'm sure those successful attempts are paying you off in the seventh one now.
Oh yes, I'm loving it. So far, so
Great. Okay. Coming to the next part of it. In your opinion, what are the key factors that contribute to building long-term relationships with client and digital marketing? And how do you prioritize them in your role at?
So I think building strong client relationships is essential, especially in my profile of an account manager. I
Yeah.
manage about 40 plus advertisers, right, that belong to the world of CPG. Now,
Hmm.
establishing trust and transparency is foremost.
Yeah.
Trust is the cornerstone of any client relationship, strong
Hmm.
client relationship.
Yeah.
Apart from that, we also look at active listening and tailoring our communication from time to time because that is very, very essential. You need to listen to your customers and make sure that you're addressing each and every concern point by point. You
Hmm.
also need to make sure that you're, understanding your customer, their challenges, their goals for the business, and in parallel, that you're also building an empathetic working relationship. And I emphasize on empathy, right? Where you continue servicing your customers through your problem solving skills, but at the same time, you're in their shoes and you're understanding where they're coming from as well. Customers are business's backbone, right? Especially for sales. We are a customer first team at Google as well. And we engage via relationship selling. So I schedule weekly catch ups with all my advertisers to get their feedback and hear their challenges, scope of expansion for their brands, and to make sure that we're on top of their mind, when they really need us. So the weekly catch ups, these touch points, these conversations make the entire difference.
Right.
We also make sure that we're meeting with them in person at least once every quarter.
Right.
And this is very important because we want to maintain that feeling of belongingness and that connection with our customers.
That's right.
So I think this is how we plan to, kind of navigate through difficult customer relationships as well in the future. Now, if you ask me personally, I personally also connect with a few customers and ask about their families because I
Yeah.
think it's very important to also connect with them personally.
Yeah.
This also helps me draw commonalities, as human beings in life, and not just orient the conversation towards business. That's how I try to navigate these
I
conversations.
remember you working at LinkedIn and I was working at HT. So I do remember the kind of relationship we have built, and that's why we have come so far. So kudos to you for building such a amazing clientele, and throughout you are still maintaining it.
Thank you for
Awesome.
those kind.
Awesome. Coming to the next question for you. How do you approach co-creating innovative yet sustainable brand solutions for your clients? And can you share any examples of some successful collaborations apart from us? Definitely.
Great. So I think the best way to approach co-creation is actually owning the problem at hand with your customer,
Mhm.
right? You're treating their business problem as your own problem.
Right.
And once you own the problem, you start thinking from their position, and the solution that you design is obviously keeping them on top, right?
Right.
You bottle down the problem and use a step-by-step approach to make a workable, practical solution for your customer.
Right.
One such example that I can refer to
Mhm.
is working with a very large CPG brand. I won't take the brand's name in the space of skincare, right?
Okay.
Their search volumes for a particular product was
Mhm.
deeply impacted
Right.
because of competition or because of multiple reasons, right? And the search query percentage had literally dropped down by more than 50%
Mhm.
against their competition. And this is a very important brand for our business, right? In fact, all brands are, but this one was a key contributor to our revenue as well.
Mhm.
And this was an alarming problem to them as well as us, as they had been investing heavily on our product suite. So it was
Right.
not that they were not investing
Mhm.
consistently.
Mhm.
I then helped them plan a brand lift and search lift study with their upcoming campaign.
Okay.
Now, if you'd ask me what a search lift campaign is or a brand lift is, brand lift campaigns focus on metrics like, ad recall, brand awareness, and consideration that the brands are building over a period of time when they're investing on our platform,
Right.
rather than those traditional digital metrics like clicks and impressions and views, right? We go beyond that.
Mhm.
It also helps advertisers align their campaigns with their marketing goals. So brand lift campaigns are essential,
Mhm.
especially when you're also trying to drive search queries. And search lift plays a very important role because search lift analyzes organic searches on YouTube and TV, and
Mhm.
it also understands how the ads are influencing users to make that purchase decision.
Right.
Search lift studies also provide clear and actionable insights to optimize our advertisers investments for both YouTube and TV, so they
Right.
can prioritize their investments vis-a-vis the platforms. And they
Right.
can also understand which are the underperforming media assets and how they need to shift budget from higher performing media assets to the from lower to higher, to that way. So for YouTube TV reservation campaigns, we suggested them to run search lift surveys on YouTube.
Mhm.
And we suggested that they use multiple creative lens or videos, a 6 second or a 15 second or 30 second. And
Mhm.
eventually, in the midst of all of this, right, we were able to track a lift of 30% in their search for the product. So, we were successful in selling multiple product suites again to them, different formats.
Right.
And this was indeed in parallel to their success. So it was not just about selling, 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 but it was also about getting the results from the advertiser. And we could actually see an uplift of 30% in their search
That's right.
query once they ran the search lift. So yeah, I think co-creating using their problem as ours with analysis of how our products come into play. I think that's the ideal match we need to look at.
That's basically understanding your client's problem statement to a level that you actually match your solutions rather than
Absolutely.
just pushing them to be a part of your entire portfolio just because they are you are actually not supporting or doing your development. So yeah,
Absolutely, that's the plan. That's the point. Yeah.
awesome, amazing, amazing insight. All right, I have another follow-up question for you. Could you highlight some successful strategies you have implemented to drive scalable product adoption and business growth for Google's product suite? Uh, any other examples that you can think?
Sure, I think product adoption refers to the process of how users are fully embracing and utilizing a product or a service that
Right.
we are offering, right?
Mhm.
Without effective product adoption, I think companies risk lower user engagement, they look at poor customer satisfaction, and ultimately failure in the market.
Right,
So, for effective product adoption, understanding your advertisers is key.
right,
This means that you need to gather data, insights
mm,
on their business challenges, missions, and goals.
right,
And once you understand this, we as sellers we can tailor our product suites, USPs, and messaging to meet our customers' needs, and
right,
we can increase the likelihood of adoption. Right, so they can experiment with a lot more, formats that we have to offer. Now, for instance, for a CPG brand, their
mm,
marketing KPIs include cost of customer acquisition, ROAS, customer lifetime value,
mhm,
organic searches, and market share.
mhm,
So offering personalized and tailored client servicing is exactly the step that we look at when we are focusing on all of these matrices for product adoption.
right,
We also leverage customer success stories, right, which is another brilliant way to drive continuous product adoption because we have success stories at Google, right? We also have very similar clients in similar space. So
right,
when we are driving product adoption, we're making sure that we're highlighting the successful external case studies of our other advertisers
right,
that have benefited from our platform and our product suite.
right,
And customer success stories are very powerful tool, and we really believe in that. So we
right,
share these customer stories, testimonials, and from satisfied fellow advertisers
mhm,
who've achieved positive outcomes using our product suite. And this is another way.
mhm,
Lastly, a great user experience is paramount, right, to drive product adoption. So if
mhm,
I'm not offering a great user experience to my advertiser,
mhm.
a great engagement, a great partnership, product adoption is not going to continue. So
I
regularly gathering feedback from them, right, and analyzing how we can improve as a business, how we can improve as Google, is very important. And
right,
once we navigate, their nuances, their challenges through a successful partnership, also, I think that leads to a greater product adoption.
I
And they're more keen to then know and learn more about what's coming new at Google, right?
I
What's new? Can we
mhm,
experiment? Can we A/B test? So
right.
I think in entirety, all of these points add to a great product adoption strategy one can look at.
That's amazing. These are really amazing insights. I think it's not just specific towards Google's sales cycle or product adoption cycle. It's valid for anyone who's trying to make an impact in that kind of space. I have a question that I'm really eager to know from you from a data marketing point of view. With the rise of data-driven marketing, how do you balance the need for personalization and privacy concerns in your marketing campaigns?
I think it's a great question because in the digital ad space,
Yeah.
even in my parents, right, they're always asking me, why
Mhm.
am I getting targeted with these ads, right? Why am I always sharing my data?
Yeah.
So I just want to reiterate that we at Google never use sensitive information such as health, your race, your religion, or your sexual orientation to tailor the ads that you are seeing, right?
Right.
We do not use this data from your Drive or from your Gmail or from your photos anywhere. The
Right.
you can control what information that you're using and you're sharing to
Mhm.
personalize your ads, and and you can manage your ad preferences, right,
Right.
with my ad sector on Google as well.
Yeah.
So we run ad campaigns that respect our users' privacy.
Right.
We also build advanced privacy technologies, right, that we share with everybody.
Right.
We also have very critical, privacy sandbox methodology that we follow. I'm not sure if you're aware of it,
Mhm.
but this initiative aims to create technologies that protect both people's privacy online and
Right.
also give our advertisers, give the companies and developers
Mhm.
tools to build thriving digital businesses, using Google Product Suite. And
Mhm.
this privacy sandbox reduces cross-site and cross-app tracking
Mhm.
while helping keeping online content and services free for all. So
Right.
it's a win-win for our customers, our users, and as well as for our advertisers or companies that are leveraging Google to advertise.
Right.
Also, Google is firmly committed to protecting privacy of advertisers as well,
Mhm.
right? So we make security and confidentiality the top priority at
Yeah.
for Google Ad services. So
Right.
your email addresses and your private information
Mhm.
that you might be sharing also with advertisers while interacting with the ads are never shared without your express permission. So only when you express, that information is shared. So but one thing I want to highlight is for more details, right? It's essential that you are aware of all of these points. You can go through our ads and data tab on the Google Safety Center website. Again, the link can be shared with our listeners as well. Go through it and learn more about it of how you can protect your privacy.
Definitely. I think that would be really helpful for the users as well. Thank you so much for sharing this. And personally, living in a GDPR compliant country, this is one of the key issues. Everyone keeps on asking us from a marketing point of view as well, that how do you work around for such campaigns? So yeah, it's great to know that you guys are very particular about what you are picking and how you're picking. Awesome. Thank you, Tanvi, for graciously imparting such invaluable insights into navigating this ever evolving digital marketing landscape with expertise and finesse. Before we conclude, we would be honored to receive one golden nugget of advice from you. What would you share with aspiring marketers?
Too young to give a golden nugget advice, but because you're asking me so nicely, I think always combining the art of science and data driven marketing to create memorable concept and marketing campaigns for your customers is very important, right? The secret weapon to become a great marketer, I feel, is data.
Right.
So great marketeers use data to delve deeper into their users' pain points and desires. And by tapping into these insights, you can really create personalized experiences that leave a lasting impact.
Right.
So combining the art of great communication, and data, you can really create winning campaigning moments and create a good working relationship with your customers.
Once again, Tanvi, for enlightening and enriching our conversation. Listeners, we hope you have been inspired to stay on the top of the latest marketing trends. And remember, you can catch the PT show on your favorite audio platform like Spotify, Amazon Music. If you prefer visuals, head over to our YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button for more such content. Until next time, embrace creativity, innovation, and cutting edge technology.